Hello grapplers and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna talk about the drive system. In this tweet, I think it's a little bit infamous at this point. That tweet that says, I think if you take Drive Rush away entirely, Street Fighter 6 is a better game. This has sparked a somewhat controversial conversation about the drive system. I'm gonna try to just talk a little bit about how I feel about the drive system and how it is impossible to take something away from the drive system. First of all, I have two characters over here, and the reason why I have JP and Manon is just to illustrate how different the drive system is for several characters. At this point, you must know the Tire's drive system is integral to Street Fighter 6. Like, this will always have armor, it makes sense for it to have armor, it's your only way to getting into stun. Parry is a little bit controversial, obviously, because it's one of the reasons why I feel the throw loops are in the game, because they need to fight this. If you just hold back, you still block, so there's literally, besides getting thrown, there's not a lot of counterplay against parrying. This is something you can use in wake-up situations, which also kills safe jumps. Parry has to be there because you have to fight fireballs somehow. Only a few characters have options. Some of them even have supers, and supers is the only thing they have. It's more common to have armor in this game, I feel, than fireball invincibility. And basically, Drive Rush is something that has to be in the game because this extends combos, makes the buttons to be safe, etc, etc. So you need to have this system. Not every single character benefits from the drive system in the same way, because some buttons that are good in the neutral, like crouching medium punch from JP, really get stronger with the drive system itself. And this is something you also have to consider in the game, because if you add one extra frame, that button might be broken now if you drive rush, or if you reduce frames, that button might be broken into the other side, it would be too strong. So that's why I feel Capcom hasn't really made changes, significant changes to the drive system. This button by itself is actually pretty freaking strong, and it is even in this current season. I'm gonna date this video by saying my just released. It is a 7-frame starter button. You'll see over here 7 frames, 4 active frames, and it recovers in 14 frames. So overall, this button is pretty good. You can see here that the button itself has a disjointed hitbox, which is one of the things you want to have in this game. And this kinda connects to what Mena says, because since this button is already pretty strong in the neutral, and it is a button that you can use while you buffer into DRC just in case you stop at drive rush, because since the button is disjointed, it's pretty easy for you to do this. And again, since this button is 7 frames and disjointed, you can also do this. And this basically, with the momentum of the drive rush, breaks a lot of buttons that can be used to stop this. On block is only -2. By doing this, you're now +2. And Manon is not necessarily a character with a good drive rush. This is notoriously, very likely, the worst drive rush in the game. And she doesn't have really good buttons to basically start her drive rush offense. You can sometimes stop drive rush from the opponent with crouching medium punch. That's not always the case. So most of the time she has to use other buttons like standing light kick, which is not a button you want to use to stop drive rushes. This is a very significant difference between these two guys. She doesn't benefit from the drive rush system at all, which makes her a very weak character overall in Street Fighter 6. Taking advantage of the drive system is something that is a major thing in this game. If your character does not have options for drive rush or really good Oki after drive rush, etc, etc, probably you're gonna play the long game. And that's not a good thing with characters like JP, Ken, Luke, DJ, Bison, who have really strong drive rushes. So I kind of understand what Mena says. I know that comes from a place of frustration, but the driver system is so important and such a significant part of the entirety of Street Fighter 6 that it is a thing that is hard to balance. And then we have other issues that are more strange, because these are moves that should not have differences between characters, and I'm obviously talking about DI. The range is different, and that is already a huge issue in some matches, because it is not the same to be hit by Bison DI compared to Zangief. Even Manon has a really long DI. I feel the entire driver acceleration and distance should be the same. I get why some buttons are better, that's just gonna be how it is, because some characters have better buttons. Making drive rushes standard for everyone and DIs in terms of distance and general effectiveness could be the right way of balancing this game overall. It's inevitable that when you create a system, some characters are going to take advantage of it more than others. It happened in Street Fighter 5, it happened in Street Fighter 4, normal, but since this is such a significant part of Street Fighter, this should be overall the same, and they need to pick a middle ground. Characters should not do the DJ or Bison or apparently my Dry Rush, because that is too much. They really need to make this buffer trigger DRC, even if you do it on whiff. I do recommend you that if you play Street Fighter 6, just play the game. It is frustrating sometimes, but it is not gonna change till probably the next season. So for now, we have to understand that the drive system, it is as it is. We can criticize the drive system, but you shouldn't focus on it too much, because otherwise you're gonna it's gonna be a pain. It's gonna be a pain. It's not gonna be good for you if you really think about it all the time. Those are just my general opinions. It was a random video really, but I wanted to make this one. If you really like this video, please subscribe, give it a follow. Take care of yourselves, keep playing grapplers, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.